Hey guys, Roger Wakefield, the expert plumber, coming to you today, asking you and answering to you what are the top 10 plumbing mistakes. Mistake number one, and this is one that I think every family should learn. Mistake number one is not knowing how to turn off the water. If you're working on anything at your house, or even if you're not, you need to know how to turn that water off. Turning the water off is a big deal because whether you're working on something or not, if you have a leak in your house, and believe it or not, every family member you have needs to know how to turn the water off in your house. Why is that a big deal? Say you've got a water heater either in the garage, in the attic, or in a closet on the interior of the house. If one of your kids comes home after school one day, water is everywhere. If they know how to turn that water off, that can save you tens of thousands of dollars. You think that's not a big deal? I've seen water heaters rupture in the attic and families have to be out of their house for 6 to 8 months while all the repairs are being made. Don't get me wrong, the insurance company paid for it, but still, do you want to go through the inconvenience of being out of your house for that long? It's not a good thing to happen. Mistake number two, treating the toilet like a trash can. Guys, treating the toilet like a trash can is crazy. You would not believe the things plumbers pull out of toilets. It's not for feminine products. It's not for, trash or paper towel. It's not for anything like that. Be very careful as to what you put in the toilet because you can either stop it up inside the toilet or whatever it is can go further down the sewer line and actually cause a clog that can lead to bigger problems. So number two, treating the toilet like a trash can is not a good thing. Number three, placing too much weight on fixtures. I'm bad about this myself. I've got the shower caddy hanging up that has my shampoo and conditioner in it. I know y'all can see that that's something that I use a lot of, and it's definitely high-end product. I did used to be a hairstylist. So guys, hanging too much things on that, those arms can break. Plumbers charge a lot of money to come in with the specialized tools to reach up in there, take that nipple out and replace that. And really you can avoid that problem by not hanging too many things up on that. Even something heavy and hard, just setting it down on a toilet. The tank lids are porcelain, just like the bowl itself, just like the tank. You place something too hard or too heavy on there, you can crack it. Some of those can be replaced, some of them can't. Either way, it's not a good thing. Number four, joining dissimilar metals. Now, this is something that as a handyman, you may not even realize. If you join copper to galvanized to black iron, any other metal that is dissimilar, without using a dielectric union or dielectric isolation, those dissimilar metals will cause electrolysis and cause it to rot. Believe it or not, guys, it starts as soon as you put it together. Dissimilar metals don't like each other. When water flows through them, they create the electrolysis and it slowly starts eating away the inside of it. Not a good thing to happen. So if you are joining dissimilar metals, think about going down to the box store or someplace, getting a dielectric union, getting something like that, anything that you can use to separate the metals, to keep them from touching while water is flowing through it, that will keep you from having a problem. Number five, treating your garbage disposal like a trash can. Guys, we're going to do some videos to show y'all the kind of things that people put down garbage disposals all the time. But guys, they're not a trash can. It's not made to just throw junk in. Anything you don't want to throw in a trash can, you toss in there and hit the button, turn it on. Does two different things. Number one, it clogs up the disposal. Number two, it wears out the disposal. Number three, you throw something in there big enough that it can get that thing spinning around too bad and cause too much vibration. You can cause your sink to leak. You can cause the disposal to leak. You can cause a lot of problems that you don't want to have. What I tell people is, look, scrape your plates off in your trash can, then rinse them off, then use the disposal to clean up any food particles that go down it. Number six, I know I can count. Number six, pouring paint or concrete down the drain. And I know that sounds funny, guys, but we've actually had to go in with sizzle before, where the mason, the tile guy, sorry, not the mason, the tile guy had taken grout, poured it down the toilet. There was no water running at the time. This was a new construction job. It all hardened up. We couldn't chip it out. We were afraid we were going to break the toilet. We ended up having to pour chemicals down there to slowly eat it up. Guys, don't pour anything down the toilet. It's made for bodily waste. It's made for toilet tissue. It's not even made for baby wipes. It's not made for feminine napkins. It's not made for condoms. Yeah, they say all that'll flush. Guys, don't flush it. It can cause your toilet to stop up or your main sewer line to stop up. Another problem. So anything down the drain, that's not just a sink drain or not just a toilet drain, floor drains. You don't want to pour it down any drain because you will cause that drain to stop up. Number two, over tightening a faucet handle. If your solution to a drippy faucet is by over tightening the handle, that's the wrong solution. Take the faucet apart. So again, go back to number one, know where to turn the water off. Okay. Take the faucet apart, look at the washer. If you catch it when it first starts dripping, normally a rebuild on it is an easy thing to do. You can just change washers or washers and springs. If you've got bigger problems than that, you may have to take it apart. You may have to change a seat. There may be things where you end up wanting to call a plumber, but over tightening the faucet handle, especially with these new cartridges we have these days, tightening it or pushing it further doesn't really help. There are either ceramic discs that are real smooth that move inside, which those normally don't leak, or there's a rubber in there with a spring behind it, and either the spring doesn't have any strength anymore, the rubber's worn out, or the surface that it runs on is not smooth anymore, so it's not sealing off. Number 8, over tightening threads. 8, over tightening threads. I know this sounds funny, but guys, over tightening something doesn't always make the leak stop. And when you're putting it together, you don't want to over tighten it anyway, because then if there is a leak, you want to have a little play in it where if you tighten it up a little bit more, it can actually tighten it up. One thing is too, when it comes to plumbing, put Teflon tape on, put pipe dope on. I actually use both. I use the white Teflon tape and then the white T+2 pipe dope, put that on, make my threads, probably turn it 4 or 5 times to get good penetration on my threads. I don't over tighten it. You want to still see threads sticking out. So don't think that you just tighten it down until all the threads are gone and then it's good. So over tighten it is not always good. You can cause more problems than you can fix by trying to tighten it. Number 9, turning on the water heater before it's ready. And this sounds funny, but if you've changed out an electric water heater or if you've changed out the elements in it, and you hook back up the power on it, the first thing you want to do is turn it on to start making water. Hold up just a minute. Fill it up with water first. Whether you shut the water off at the ball valve on top, the yard box right outside your door, or at the meter, make sure you fill up and get all the air out of your electric water heater before you turn the power on. If you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to end up blowing your elements, and all that work that you've done, you're going to get to redo it. Blown elements, they're not going to heat the water. So do not turn the water on before your water heater is ready for it. Number 10, this is the big one. Remember how things go back together. And I know it sounds funny, but what I like to do is one of two things. Either print up an exploded diagram of it. That way you can see part by part how it goes back together. A lot of the installation manuals have these with them. That's great because that shows you the exact order everything goes in. Believe it or not, all different brands have different ways that they want certain things. Some want washers on top, some want them on bottom, some want them both. Toilets are the same way. If you're putting a tank and a bowl together, it could be different as to how it goes together. Make sure you look at the directions. If you don't have the directions, look it up on the computer. Pull up your part number, pull up your model number, see if there's an exploded view of it. See what that can do to teach you how it goes together. Last thing I like to do is when I take it apart, lay the parts out in order, take a picture. That way I know how they go back. The only problem with that is if somebody took it apart before you and didn't put it back together right, you're not putting it back right either. So guys, these are the top 10 mistakes that we find in the plumbing industry. These are things that hopefully you won't make now. My name is Roger Wakefield with Texas Green Plumbing, saving you money one drop at a time. Subscribe, guys. Click the button. Come on, I know you can do it. Thanks, and have a great day.